Congratulations! You have found WrestleShoot, hosted by the Wild Thing Rob Wilds and the ladies' man Chris Casanova. Combined, we have 40 years of wrestling experience, and we're here to share those experiences, stories, and knowledge with you over the podcast airwaves. We'll be joined by friends of ours from time to time to share their stories and experiences with you as well. So climb aboard the crazy train we call WrestleShoot. We know how to do it, and we do it real well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, air drum that baby. Air drum that shit. Oh, we're back after our horrific experience with Mr. J. We are back. We're going to have a special episode about that. Joker Survivors. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
But today, we're doing WrestleShoot. And I'm your host, the Wild Thing, Rob Wilds. Joined, of course, by the lovely, the talented, my hedgerow life mate, the great Chris Casanova. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, princess? How are you today?
Aw, I love it when you call me princess. It's been so long.
Makes y'all feel warm inside.
Hugs my heart.
Aw, that's cute.
I'll tell you, I'll tell you something. We're gonna start off WrestleShoot with a little wrestling. I'm actually really surprised how over CM Punk is over at AEW. I'm
not.
You know, with that fucking pipe bomb shit and the bitch way he left the company and how much he ran his mouth against wrestling, I am very surprised.
Sometimes bad press is good press, I mean, that's my whole philosophy. So I'm not surprised. I mean, he's one of their bigger names there, and he's still a huge name. So
we know all about getting that heat press, baby.
Yeah, 100%, man. Absolutely.
Like back when we all formed the Apocalypse, man. I remember the Marysville newspaper writing up "Evil has landed in Marysville." They were talking about us and but then they went to what great entertainers we were and blah blah. But they're like, "Oh, the Apocalypse, evil has landed." It was pretty cool.
I forgot about that article.
We tried to do the whole family reunion show with Mike Graham, but that dude's hard to tack down.
Mm-hmm.
But before we move on any further, just real quick, I want to throw out so everybody can see this. I think they're going to put it online after it's live, but the 2021 NorCal Wrestling Hall of Fame, December 4th, 6:30 p.m., and it's free. They have their own Facebook page, so jump online and find it. And this seems like a really, really cool thing to be doing to me. Even cooler is they are inducting one of our oldest friends, Michael Porter.
Long overdue. I mean, gosh, he should have been inducted a long time ago.
So, he's going in, and as you know, most people don't know, but Rick Luxury actually came to me and asked if I could do the acceptance for Mike's award. And I was like, well, yeah, but I'm not going to fly to California for it, unfortunately. That's just not really in the card. So we did what was like a 15-minute video thing the other day.
Yeah.
So over to him to be shown, and hopefully it shows how much we really loved Porter. Because, our old dude, Rick Michaels, me, you, and Porter. Actually, I guess Rick Michaels, me, and Porter, you and Mike started putting in your opinions after the formation of the Apocalypse, but kind of the three of us came together and formed that whole epic, legendary tag team.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, shit.
Hey, boys, how's it going?
Do my eyes deceive me? Is that actually who I think it is?
Yes, it is. It is Shoot What Name Will Loudon, also known as Rick Michaels. Used to be formerly known as, but still, once again, your manager of champions, Rick Michaels.
Yeah, that's true. It was there you go, Rick Michaels. That's better. I changed your name.
Oh, there you go.
Back when we were sitting around at that venue in Marysville, that children's center, and just kicking that idea around when Porter was like, "Oh, you guys like the new Four Horsemen, right?" And we both went, "Oh shit!"
Well, and then Rob, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, you and I just kind of ran with it after that and started, spitballing ideas to Chris, and kind of what we had worked.
Because we didn't have.
They hated us up here.
We didn't have a click name that first night. We just went out there and did the damn thing.
It was just our thing, right? I think we named it after, didn't we?
Yeah, I think. I mean, the first time we technically sowed the seeds of it was in Rob, when first time I worked with you or came out with you in Olivehurst. We kind of sowed the seeds there.
Olivehurst, man, holy shit!
Yeah, well, that's down the street from my house, pretty much, and
I forgot about that.
Where I'm living now, and down the street from where we were, it was technically where we were at the time.
Yeah.
But
was that back when you and Warpath beat each other's brains out? That you're talking about?
Maybe Ward.
Oh, not you. Obviously not you.
Nope.
We were just laughing about you. We were just laughing about you the other day, saying that day that Warpath snapped and went chokeslam crazy and really drilled Mike Rain. You were the only smart one in all of us. You got the fuck out of there.
Look, I'm gonna use. I saw a 6'5" Indian coming. You guys were already out on the ground. I'm not messing with that. Nope. See ya. I'll catch you guys in the back.
He's the brains behind the operation.
He's a correction officer now, Warpath.
Really?
At San Quentin.
Wow.
It's
nice.
Quentin, right, Chris, by Frisco?
Yes.
I think so. So.
Yeah.
Damn.
I wouldn't look it twice. Nope. Whatever you say, CO.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Please don't kill me.
Wow.
He's still a big guy.
Tim's with us. What's up, Tim? Tim's one of our old school cronies that we haven't seen around here in a little while, but it's nice to see you again, brother.
What's up, Sarge?
Sarge. Me and Sarge had a little blood feud going on a different network, but then we teamed up against some other bastards. And now we're friends-ish, kind of. So, Rick Michaels. Fuck, man, what? 15 years? More?
Give or take.
Gosh.
Jesus.
Calculator.
I hear you're back in managing again.
Yep, about once a month, give or take. I'm actually with Wild West Championship Wrestling in Reno, Nevada.
Right.
I manage one of NorCal's up and coming wrestlers, Chris Blaze, out there, and he is the current Outlaw Champion, which is their variation of the Hardcore title. So once again, I am the manager of champions once again.
Okay. God, there's been so many times that you would pull me aside after my matches and go, seriously, this isn't a joke. You need to calm down on the hardcore.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit different with them because, like, when you and I were doing it, it was the old ECW style, bring everything to the ring, bash everybody to death. Theirs is a twist out there. It's called the Outlaw title. There's a lot of wrestling. Hell, Blaze just beat Chupacabra in a hell of a match a couple weeks ago.
Chupacabra, he's still working.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's still working. He is still working 20 years in.
God, he's good.
And
hey, what's up with Big Ugly?
Really good.
Somebody told me he was sick. You know anything about that?
I don't know much about that. I know I see like social media posts, but I've not talked to Ugly probably since right around the time Virgil Flynn passed. So like 3 years ago or so ago now.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so the Outlaw title in WWCW is you can't bring the stuff to the ring. It has to already be there. So if a fan has a sign that's loaded, say, you can use it. If somebody came to the ring that's handicapped, has crutches, or broken leg, has crutches, you can grab them and use it, but you cannot bring them from the back. So it's kind of a twist to the hardcore.
If it was me there, and I did my traditional garbage can full of weapons, and I just went out through a little sneak entrance and handed it to a fan, said, pass it up front, I'd get away with that.
Yes, that's how that's how we did one. Hey, look, that's how we did a loaded sign a couple shows ago. We had a sign that said, Chris Boyce is my favorite wrestler. Behind it was an old tin sign. And gave it to a fan and let him use it.
Love that, man.
I did that with Payback. You remember that when he was just like super stiff, whooping wholesale ass on me?
Yeah.
Like that kid had the wild thing, use my sign. I had a stop sign behind it. Dude, I wailed him with that.
Was it the stop sign or was it our old bump ahead sign?
No. That was a bump ahead. It was a stop sign.
Oh, stop sign? Okay.
We had the bump ahead at school.
Came from.
Yeah, the bump ahead was a lot bigger.
Oh yeah.
I thought you provided bump ahead.
I did provide bump ahead.
Okay.
I also got hit with it a couple times because somebody kicked me in the face with it.
Well, if somebody would have listened to their spot, then that wouldn't have happened.
Turn your face, brother.
The sign was so damn big, I couldn't see that spot in time.
You should have. Since you had it in your head, you should have just turned.
I know.
Because I'll tell you,
we live, we learn, right? We live, we learn.
If Casanova were to ever say to me, "Turn your head" or bump a little bit early, you bet your entire ass that's what I'm doing.
And did I bitch about it then? Nope. I just said, "Damn it, I screwed up."
Well, you couldn't really bitch about it. You weren't all there.
Are any of us? It's wrestling.
Yeah, we're all here because we're not all there.
Rick Michaels.
You were a little bit of this.
Yeah, but no. I mean, even afterward, even after I kind of came to my senses a little bit, I couldn't really complain about it. I mean, it's my own fault. So whatever.
That's correct.
I should have turned my head. Two, maybe I shouldn't have been in the ring. Maybe I should have been like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. These guys are kind of pissed at me. Maybe I should just, I don't know, leave the venue. Go from there. But it is what it is.
Hey, you're always a trooper, man. I'll give you that, man. You took it, and you know what? You never complained. There's guys out there that complain all the time about getting stiffed. So
yeah, no, and I remember telling people, hey, if I stiff you, go ahead, stiff me back because I know it's how it is. I remember telling Rage of Steel that in the Battle Royal we did. Hey guys, I'm still learning. I'm stiff on the punches, kicks. If I stiff you, I'm sorry. And during the match, I kicked one of them. They're like, stiff me. I'm like, give me my receipt then. Isn't that kind of the nature of the business? Can't bitch about it.
Have you seen what Rage looks like now?
I've not seen that guy since we pretty much closed up shop with UWA. I know he doesn't wrestle anymore because of health issues and stuff like that.
Oh, no, he does. He
does. Okay.
He's redistributed all this up here. He's fucking ripped and he's yoked.
I know Bobby Hart is still wrestling a lot, but I know I'd heard Rage had to quit because of his seizure issues. That's what at least what I had heard. Maybe he got it under control and got back.
That dude is doing Sumite Woke now, doing his Indian name.
Oh, okay.
He's Indian, and he is getting the fuck booked out of him, man. He is crushing it.
All right. I didn't realize it was. I'd seen him on on your post. I didn't realize it was the same guy because I lost touch with him. A lot of guys over the years.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, God, dude. I'm only in touch with him again because 6 months ago or so, he hit me up on Facebook. He's like, "Oh, what's up?" I was staring at the picture, trying to figure out who the fuck it was.
But Rob, you remember the story, right? We didn't know it was him for a bit. Remember?
Yeah.
We thought it was a totally different dude when we had him on our show, and Rob's like, and we did a WrestleShoot show, and after Rob's like, that's Rage, dude. I'm like, what do you mean who's Rage? He goes, Sumite is like Rage. I'm like,
Rage, yeah.
The same fucking person? And he goes, yeah, dude. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like,
wow,
changed that much.
And the real reason he vanished was he had some legals, but he took advantage of that time. He was on a fishing trip to really hit the weight to get himself in shape, and he came out just yoked up and ready to rock.
I'm just going by what I've heard, thought about around some shows and stuff, talking to some of the older guys, some of the few guys that are still around from when we were doing it, and just kind of, hey, what's up with so and so, type thing. So,
yeah,
Chris, since we're on the reliving the old brothers' memories, I'm gonna let you handle the "Leave Me Alone" Will story.
Leave me alone.
Josh Edlow, what are you fucking starting shit on our show?
What?
Would this dummy wouldn't quit following me around?
Oh, that one?
You tell that story so well, you're gonna tell it.
I don't know why he was following you around, but you're pissed at Josh Edlow because he was trying to fuck your show up, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Will was like, you had to talk to Rob or something, but Rob did not want to be bothered at all. Like, Rob was one of these moods, and he was just pissed. And
I think it was this just flashing idea he wanted to share.
Yeah, it was some type of flashing booking idea. But I'm sitting back, watching this whole entire thing, and you're trying to follow Rob around, and Rob's like, dude, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Like that. And Rob was like this fucking teapot, man. He just fucking blew up, man. He's like, leave me the fuck alone.
When you pulled Mike Rain aside, what'd you say? You dick. What'd you say?
I have no idea. I don't remember a lot of the little details anymore. Oh, Chris, okay.
When you pulled Mike Rain aside before my tea kettle blew, what'd you say to him?
Fucking Rob's gonna fucking blow, dude.
Yeah, he's like, Mike, come here, watch this. Watch Rob blow. Watch this. This is gonna be funny. Son of a bitch. I finally turn around and scream, leave me the fuck alone. Then Mike runs over. Come on, Will, let's go over here.
Fair. I don't remember that, but it's been a lot of years since, so some of the details have been fuzzy over the years, Some things I remember vividly, other things it's like, okay, sure.
Well, you remember that same night after me and Rude Boy and Cooley and Mike Rain all did our tornado match?
Oh.
I think Cooley tried to jump in and scoop the heat, dude. I fucking socked him in the gut. He bent over and went down.
Yeah. Now the guy's kind of chiseled, so it may not work as easily now. Have you seen him lately?
No.
I follow him on social media, man. He started getting into bodybuilding, getting weightlifting. He's like
he had really socked some on there for a while, so I'm glad he's taken that.
Yeah, he's really ripped now. I mean, I remember he was kind of a skinnier guy, and yeah, he's really good shape, especially, for all of us being our 40s and pushing 50 and stuff like that. He's in really damn good shape.
Where's he at now?
If I remember right,
he's still in the stack area, I think.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't Cooley always a little bit chiseled, though, Chris?
Who?
Cooley. Wasn't Cooley always a little bit chiseled?
Well, maybe he was young.
So I know he did a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups. That was
he was skinnier, because he had military and stuff, but he wasn't like he is now. If you were to do a Facebook search for him now, look up his picture, he's pretty big now in terms of muscle wise. It's
we'll look him up.
The instant. I'll see if I can get a picture real quick, and I'll send you guys. If you guys got your phones handy, I'll send you guys what he is looking like now, because he's in good shape.
Wrestling business now?
As far as I know, no. I mean, I only got dragged back in because Blaze and our old pal Greg Campbell is also working with that promotion in Reno, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come out and hang out and do some stuff with us out there?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure," and kind of go out there once a month or once every couple months. Right now we're on hiatus because of the weather, and so yeah, I just sent you guys a current picture of Cooley on your Facebook on Messenger. That's from his profile picture.
Damn.
Yeah, he's got really in shape compared to where he was. I mean, he was good shape, but he's now like taking it to another level.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah, really good for him.
Yeah, real good for him. Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you, Cooley. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of. I saw him, actually met with him and sold him some toys or something a couple years ago. Some action figures I had.
Just for anybody watching who knows Cooley, I mean, check that shit out.
Yeah, he's really gotten big into the weightlifting and seriously working out. I think it started a little bit pre-pandemic because he was getting out of shape and everything, like a lot of us do, and decided to just say screw it and go from there. Yeah, I mean, I've lost some weight myself this year, but I can't compete to that level.
We actually had Greg on a all fan show we were doing. There was like, what was there, like 7, Chris?
Yeah, 7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah,
Greg was one of them. He's gonna, I think next summer, I think me and Chris are gonna roll out there and do the Conquistadors. Like the real legit Conquistadors. We own the copy right now.
Out to Reno?
Huh?
Are you talking about rolling out to Reno?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he asked if
That's
we wanted
to
come out and jump on one of his shows, and we're like, yeah, dude, we won't even really hit you that hard on price because plane ticket from Florida and from Texas aren't going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Well, for Florida,
definitely not.
And we all know Greg's cheap ass. We're going to have like 2 layovers.
Yeah, and he's not even he's only one of the bookers there. He's not, so it's kind of, it is what it is. But he was like, hey, I'm working with this Fed now. Do you want to come out? I'm like, okay. So I ride down with them and we have a little bit of fun and, go from there.
Having the Conquistadors come out there at their show will be good because all we're going to do is what the Conquistadors are supposed to do. Put on a competitive match, but then put the young guys over.
Yeah. I don't know who he'd put you guys with right now, but as of the current roster, but there's, I have my opinions on that, but, hey. On the current roster. I've had my opinions on the current roster, but it is what it is, you know.
There's a lot of new
They're
guys
kind
on
of
there. You guys we know.
there are some newer guys, but they're also kind of constructed like we were, where they have some really talented wrestlers that were trained and some that shouldn't necessarily be working like they are. So, you know,
But that's
I'm trying to be a nicer Rick Michaels, trying to be a little bit more PC, I guess.
Right.
I have to go out there right now and do
Well,
the babyface shtick, which I never did.
You're doing it, baby. How's it working?
I hate it. I hate it.
I don't understand. You're a face manager, like a baby manager?
Unfortunately, because they put me with Blaze, and Blaze and I are trying to get them to, one, turn us heel, and two, Blaze actually wants me to bring back our faction, wants to bring back the Apocalypse. I mean, he wants the whole thing. Like when we would go out and bag the fans and stuff like that. Right. He wants all of that. I'm like, I'm down for a retro. Don't get me wrong, but we got to get the bookers to sign off on it. You know, it's like,
right.
But he's heard enough with me over the years, you know, because everything aside, Blaze is my nephew.
Chris, how awesome would that be to have him working their new Apocalypse gimmick and then we show up?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I would love to do it. I don't know if we could get Rain out there, but even if we just had you guys out there, you know, out there.
Mike would go for nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get him, and you know, if the dates align and stuff like that, because he's pretty busy with Best of the West. So, because he runs Best of the West Wrestling, and they're pretty good fed. So, and I know he's busy with a lot of that. So,
yeah, I hear he's doing pretty well right now.
Yep. So the wife just got home.
What's up?
All right. Okay. Hey, go away. Sue.
Emily Michaels.
Can't hear you. I got the headset.
That's awesome, man.
Wait a minute.
So what you been up to, man, other than that? Like
just doing the business that I've been doing. You know, you guys know I was starting to sell toys and stuff back then, but I've been selling toys and anime stuff this year. Hell, I've made more money this year in about 20 shows and stuff, about 30 days worth of work than the wife's made all year in childcare. I pushed almost $30,000 worth of toys and stuff just part-time. Just toys and anime stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy,
man. I import pins like what I'm wearing, you know, stuff like this from China and everything else. And enamel pins, I pay about $1.75 each. I sell them for $5. I'm the cheapest guy at the show. You know, because most of the shows be like have them $7-10 a piece. I've got friends of mine like, I'll go to get into the pins and I can sell them cheaper. I'm like, you won't make any money. Not if you're going to do it right and, you know, want to actually make some profit more than just a few pennies here and there. I'm
more than
a little over double. Yeah, I'm a little over double, and you know sometimes it's hard for me, but it's doing all right. You know, get it now. I just started working for a local shop out here, toy store out here. You know, helping them out, get out of the house a few days a week.
Nice.
Because the shows, you know, we show up so often, as we know. So
that's pretty cool. That seems pretty lucrative for you. I mean, 20 shows. I mean, that's pretty.
This year has been obviously. Last year we all took a kick in the shorts with the way the world's been. But
what was the time frame on that 20 shows? How long was that?
Throughout the year. I mean, I do like in
You made September grand profit last year on the toy business.
No, that's this year. It's not profit. That's sales. Profit just based off the space. I think I'm about 29 and change in sales. About a little under 5 in just space rent, and so I'm profiting at probably about 17.
Okay,
all said and done.
2 times a month.
That's what you used to do.
Yeah, a lot more than I used to do. You know, that's the profit. I haven't looked at all the numbers. I won't do that until it's tax time, obviously. But just trying to do that. Go out, kick it. Do whatever I can do, and I want to keep working for myself as much as possible instead of having to go punch a time clock for somebody else. Except for my friends at the shop that I'm doing, it goes down. It's working with toys, so it's not like it's not what it's not like it's out of my wheelhouse. It's what I've been doing for 25 years. So,
right.
But it is definitely a lot more than I used to do, and I've been growing it because I used to do just toys when I was out in Ohio. I started doing like anime, just like necklaces, because I saw other people were doing them. I started doing them and this was about 8 years ago I started doing that. I started carrying 5 styles of necklace only. Just 5 different styles, like a Loki helmet, a Thor keychain, or Thor hammer, stuff like that. Now I carry just in necklaces about 30, 35 styles of necklaces, about the same in earrings, almost about 180 different styles of keychains, about 300 different styles of pins, plus extra buttons, extra anime stuff, toys, plush, board games, pretty much whatever in that line that I could sell. I could probably fill my own store.
You do anything online? You got a website you want to plug?
I don't really do much online. I can be found on social media at RWHENTC. So remember when toys and collectibles, just RWNTC. I don't really do a lot online right now. I'm hoping to transition to that soon. Do more and more of it, but I just been doing shows because it's easier for me to just pack it up and go with there.
So these like you're not doing the old denials or any of that anymore?
I'm not doing denials at all, no. I mean, when I got back to Cal, it's still there. It's not what it used to be. It's not like when we were all, hanging out, stuff like that. It's like, it's not nearly. They do wrestling there every so often, which is weird. They've hosted some lucha shows in one of the buildings there.
They were. Well, we was running, man. They weren't even kind of open to the idea. Or was it me?
Yeah, I know.
Who wasn't open to it?
Who?
I don't remember.
It might have been me because I had a problem with people watching it for free. We're not making anything.
No, they actually have a building that they rent out there that that they do the shows in. That building, I've been to a couple of them because Blaze a couple years ago was when he's cutting his teeth, going to the shows, helping out wherever he could, getting on the show. Typical. When you're starting on the business and
paying dues.
And paying his dues, and he was going in, so I'd go with him sometimes, and they had completely enclosed, charging at the door, so it wasn't like it was like outside in the middle of Denios or anything like that where people would just watch. It was fully enclosed. I don't know if that building existed back then, or if it existed for rental like that. Somebody may have rented it for something else, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I wouldn't want to give it away for free either. We did too many outdoor free shows where people were watching, and we're hoping to charge, or people would be at the gate, stuff like that.
The famous Marysville.
Yeah, a lot of those. It's kind of funny though, being up here when I told you guys before we came on, I bought a house recently. I had flooring installed. One of the guys installed the flooring is somebody that we used to work with that backyard fit that was up here in Olivehurst. He used to do security for us.
Who's that?
I have to look up his name. I forget off the top of my head.
It wasn't Jim, was it?
No, I forget his. I have to look it up and see if I can find it. He was one of my his name is Andrew. I don't remember his last name. I kind of recognize him.
What are Reference kids?
I think so, maybe. Yeah, he said,
if you find the chance to get a hold of Ron, man, we'd love to have him on too.
I had no idea how to get a hold of Ron. I said with Andrew, he was he wasn't the guy doing it. He was the assistant to the guy, but he was one of the ones working on the flooring. And we were just chatting one day. And I was like, yeah, my nephew's not going to be living with us, not here. He's a wrestler. And he's like, really? I used to do some wrestling with OWA and Oliver. So like, that's where I know you from. And he looks at me and goes, wait a minute.
Old school wrestling.
He's like, wait a minute. You used to work with Rob Wilds, didn't you? I was like, yes, I did. So he actually remembered you, Rob.
Everybody remembers me. They just don't always have nice things to say.
I was just about to say, whether it's fondly or not, sometimes, that's another story, But yeah, he was like,
that's how I opened the video we made for the Mike Porter Hall of Fame induction. Was I started it off saying, to quote Bret Hart, hell must have frozen over because here's Rob Wilds at a NorCal wrestling event.
NorCal wrestling, and Rick Luxury reached out to you about it. That's another thing.
That
because
that shocked me.
That was surprising.
Because he was reaching out online on Facebook first and was like, hey, does anybody know? And I was like, well, I was friends with Porter, but other than me, a couple of us dropped your name. I think Blaze dropped your name as well. And
yeah,
that's when he decided to get hold of
you. Most of you dropped my name, and I just wrote in a response on that thread that Michael Porter was one of my closest friends, and like an hour later, Rick had sent me a message. I'm like, whoa. Well, okay.
Yeah, I actually was just talking about Porter with somebody recently. I loved how the dynamic him and I had, because you guys know, on air when it was time for show, we hated each other. Because I remember fans coming to me, why do you hate Michael Porter so much? not knowing that it was my job to take him home him back home that night,
Right,
or that
yeah.
I picked him up that morning in Marysville. We drove to Modesto together. We drove to Sac together for something, that it was me that was picking him up a lot of times and driving with him, Here's my buddy. I remember shortly when I moved to Ohio and I heard he first got sick, he was in the hospital and I called him. We spoke for about 45 minutes. I called him actually in his hospital room. And then he died some short time later and I was there, couldn't get back, anything. And then I'm actually a little bummed that, since an accident and everything I was in, I don't drive freeways anymore. I'm not going to get down to Pacheco this weekend to go to the Hall of Fame. I was hoping to, but, Blaze had a car and just wrecked it pretty bad himself last week. So lucky to come out of that kind of car running into a semi. He wasn't the semi.
Jesus.
Yeah, he wasn't the semi. He walked away from it with just some, stitches. So,
thank God, we just heard about a Virgil's death. We didn't even know about that.
Yeah, Virgil died like 3 years ago. Suddenly, It was his wife and kids had just went back to, I think it was Georgia, somewhere around there for her family, like a family reunion for her, and he had to work. And I think they left on a Monday or a Tuesday, and he passed away like the next day. She got a phone call and then had to turn back around.
Right?
And was that?
It was a sudden stroke.
Yeah, strokes, seizure, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But somewhere along that line, it was sudden because I had just saw him a couple days before the show or at the school. Because, we lived right down the street from where he was at, and Blaze was training there. So,
wow.
Let's see here. What's he got? Taker's Mount Rushmore. It's Andre, Stone Cold, Rick, and HBK. Do you guys agree? No.
The Rick. Who's the Rick? The Rick who?
Probably Flair, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Flair. It's got to be.
Flair, Andre, HBK, Stone Cold. Ooh.
Yeah, Rick's on Mount Rushmore.
Rick's on Mount Rushmore. Andre kind of would have to be because he's Andre and he was, more athletic than people remember him.
Right.
As much as you guys know, I love Shawn Michaels. I don't know. And same thing with Stone Cold. It's so subjective on how I guess the last two would turn out because you could almost make a case for like a dozen guys.
Then what's yours?
Well, I would being a Michaels fan, I might put Shawn on there. Flair is definitely first and foremost. It depends, I guess. Am I doing overall work rate or promo rate? What am I looking at here?
Because who sticks out to you as your top four?
Okay, then Andre, Flair, Hogan. As much as I hated Hogan as a kid, have to put Hulkster on there. And then the last one's a toss-up. I don't want to say Shawn because as much as I like Shawn, you can make a case for The Rock. You can make a case for Stone Cold. You can make a case for Taker even. There's a lot of guys that could fill that extra spot. It's really kind of.
Well, that's not the point of the game. It's not. Oh, we got five great candidates. It's you got to pick one. Pick one. You got
okay, fine. I'm fine. I guess overall contribution Taker.
Okay,
that's a good one. I think Taker definitely deserves to be on there.
Yeah, and that's so hard. I mean, it's like when you're looking at it, there's like you got 4 slots for a Mount Rushmore. You can make a case for like 20 guys potentially. 15 guys.
I feel like wrestling's Mount Rushmore, since everything needs to be different, wrestling should be 5 spots.
And if he had his way, Vince McMahon would be all 5 of them, right?
No, me.
You would have. Oh, you want to do all 5, huh?
I missed my cue. Usually when I ask somebody that question, I go, okay, me. And they're like, oh, no, not yet. Almost. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And I usually just get honorary Rushmore, sons of bitches.
Yeah, honorary.
Yeah, how dare they?
Hey, at least
we all know mine is Hogan, Flair, Savage, and Undertaker. If we're gonna add one more, I'd put Austin on there.
Yeah.
Who would you add, Chris?
Oh wait, Rob, Brett's not on there?
No.
Shocking.
I think mine was Hogan, Taker, Flair, and who's my 4th one? I think I threw Shawn on there. I had Rick. Didn't I have Rude on there?
Yeah, Rude. That was your 4. Now add one more.
I add one more. Can I add myself?
Yes, you can. Chris Casanova.
All right. Chris Casanova, the 5th honorary member. There you go.
We're carving out a 5th spot, dude.
Oh, it's like straight up.
Rushmore's got 5 spots.
So that's our new right there. Okay, gotcha.
That's right, son. That's right.
All right.
Fucking A, carve my shit in there, dude.
It's okay then. Rick, who's your fifth?
Fifth, I'd probably put Sean on there for the showmanship. Because
He
that's
was certainly a showman.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why Vince ended up switching, more to that style, the sports entertainment style. Was guys like Sean were, while they could go in the ring, they were the showman too. That's what the crowd was going for.
Yeah.
And the reason, really, I think that I made Austin my fifth was just how much he actually contributed to the business. I mean, his work rate was cool, his gimmick, but he did some things like, what? That went too far. That used to drive me fucking nuts back in the day.
As we all know the story that was started as an accident.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it got over with the crowd, and so it just kind of became the catchphrase.
Well, that's how all the catchphrases started. He was doing this thing of Chris Casanova, when I get out there tonight, what? You say something? What? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Then he go back to his thing.
And it just rolls back. It just keeps rolling.
It just took off. Boom.
Yeah. So Rob, you got to tell that story about the whole, when all of us went out, we're at Will's house, and we went driving when I drove over that curb. You tell that story so well. I know Will remembers it.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot to that story to tell. It was going to be, what was it, me and you jump in your car.
No, everybody was in the car.
Huh? Was that the convertible?
The convertible, yes. Yeah. We were going to have Zeb follow us, and he says, oh, wait a minute. Our car's down. So we all pile into this little tiny back seat, tiny front seat. And we're driving with the top down because there were so many of us in there.
I do remember it was one night. I don't remember that particular, if it's that same night or not. It was the three of us, my wife, and
Rob and Mary.
And Mary. Was Rob with us? Rob with us that night? Okay. I remember because Rob still lives with us. He actually helped us buy the house.
Nice.
And Mary I don't talk to anymore because I'm the bad guy.
Rob was sitting. You were sitting next to him. Mary was on your lap. Emily was on my lap, but we had to keep the top down. Because we all had a plan to go to one particular bar. We pulled up there, and for some reason on a Saturday night, the thing was shut down. So now we're a little bit flustered. Oh, we got to drive farther. This is going to get attention.
We were drinking already, too.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
We'd already crushed your bottle of brandy. And we go, oh, look, there's a bar across the street. Let's go hit that. It was a pool hall, some kind of a pool hall.
Okay.
And he goes, okay. And he just starts fucking merging. And then there's the island. And boom.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're driving down the island. I'm cracking up. Chris goes, it's not fucking funny. What do I do? Get over right, not left. Get over right.
Yeah, that wasn't one of our brightest moments.
The car was a beast.
That definitely was not one of our brightest moments during those times. I think we probably drank a little too much back then.
Oh my gosh, we were always driving like under the influence, and I'm not proud of it, man. I'm not. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when you're young, sometimes you do things that you're not exactly proud of. We were kind of young and stupid at times, like most people are.
Yeah, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Especially the apocalypse.
What's that?
Especially the apocalypse.
Yeah, we were definitely, kind of reckless at times. And,
kind of, a little bit.
Just a smidge, just.
I mean, all the way up to the end. All the way up to the last Fat Cat show when we got drunk and went over there to fight the whole locker room.
Well, in your guys' defense, you were trying to have a retirement match, and some of the boys weren't being respectful.
Yeah.
And
the whole Brawl crew wasn't being. That's what brought up us wanting to go back because of how bad they tried to ruin our last match.
Yeah. And so, it wasn't like we already knew there's some heat there. It wasn't like we went there looking for trouble. We're just, okay, we're going down, we're doing our thing. We were planning on leaving, and that was it. And then it just turned into a shit show and kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here we are all these years later, and, things are what they are. Whatever,
I did a couple of shows just of these WrestleShoots just lashing into luxury. Just terrible. Yeah. And now
that's why I was shocked when you reached out to you.
Me too.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute here. I've seen him at a couple shows, over the years, going with boys or whatever, and to different things, and but try to be cordial or whatnot. But
And, it's not like me and Rick are gonna mend fences and be fucking buddies. It's just it was a pretty big gesture for him to reach out to me when it comes to something as serious as Porter.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes they say time changes everything. All of us were young and stupid back then, and things were.
That's true.
It was different landscape how it was back then compared to now and everything else. And none of us are exactly young. Some of us are a little bit more crazier.
Crazier, a little less tamed.
Well, I take a little less shit from people now than I do. So there's times when I'm a little like, okay, I need to kind of, not be so much. As I got older, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have people walk on me as much as maybe I did when I was younger. And so sometimes I'm a little more high strung than I was back then, and I've always been a little that way. And so some of us are a little crazier.
What it was back in the old days. People used to take advantage of, disrespect, and bully you, and you didn't want to fight these guys because you didn't really fight. But once we got you into school, we trained you. You became like in a month the second top shooter in that school. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like,
because I was the one always working Vega. Because when all the other students that we had would bitch out and be like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." I remember you getting bullpenned and going through every one of them before Vega got you. I was like, hey, don't pat yourself on the back too hard, brother. He did just fucking tap out 5 other guys. And right. Yeah. And I do remember the one time we had that one really big Hispanic kid. I just got done wrestling him, and I'm blown. Because, I never had the wind that you guys had, especially Casanova had. I'm blown. And you guys were like, all right, I can't remember the guy's name anymore. Hey, you guys going to wrestle Vega. And a couple of the students are like, no, I'm not going to do that. And tell their trainers, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I was like, and I remember saying, give me a couple minutes, and I'll get back in there with him. And Rob, you were like, really? Yeah, give me a couple minutes. And then I remember because Rob, you were counting, and I came within like a hairs of actually pinning Vega.
Yeah.
Right, dude, and you were like, holy shit.
Hooked him in a full cradle, dude. You just put your weight on him. You had him. I was like, oh my God, he's going to pin him. Oh, he's out.
And he kicked out like right at the last second. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, but then he kicked out and went to work on you, though. He was like, okay, Rick's not a bitch anymore. Now I got to try.
Yeah. Well, he had the experience doing it because he did it in high school. I had no experience doing it.
Oh, yeah. He was a tournament fighter. It is his, what was he at, Krav Maga or something like that?
I don't remember. I know he did high school and he was trying to do some other stuff. I just remember he was a little bit of a, when we were all doing the security gig together for a while after you left and him and I were working together, man, that guy almost got himself killed a couple times.
He was doing security where?
Well, we were doing security. Where was that? Tropicana for a while. Rob got me the gig.
I don't remember the name of it was over by a mall, but
it was across the Market Mall. It was a Hispanic club called Tropicana.
Yeah, it was a Chicano bar.
Yeah.
Like, what they do is they go inside, get hammered, start beating the brakes off each other. The bouncers inside chuck them outside. Then the uniformed security, which was us, just kind of keeps an eye and makes sure something doesn't go crazy. I think I was the only one who had weapons, right?
Yeah, I remember a particular night. I remember, Rob, was your last night actually there. You were licensed to carry, and you had your firearm with you. And our boss was like, I don't want you carrying it at the club. They don't want it at the club. And so you were like, okay, fine, whatever. Fuck you. I'm going to go put it in the car. And then that night, we broke up a fight, turned around, see this guy getting into his convertible with 4 guys beating on him because he was getting messing with the wrong girl.
You're kind of remembering 2 separate stories as one, but go ahead.
No. This is how I remembered at least. And then that guy pulls out, or we pull all the guys off him. He gets his car. He pulls out. He hits you.
Right.
And you end up on the ground in position like if you had your gun and was like, oh, shit.
Damn.
And shortly thereafter, you, because of the way the bosses were, you were like, well, fuck this. I can get a better gig elsewhere. And so you stopped working with them. I continued for a couple months. I still had Vega working with me. I brought on other guys that I knew, brought in my people, and we were still doing that gig for a bit. And until they were like, oh, we're going to get some people that speak Spanish here. We're going to keep you guys on at least 1 or 2 days a week. And then they just kind of cut us out, period.
Well, that's what they needed. They needed officers that spoke Spanish.
Let
me kind of separate these stories because you got most of it right, but you got them kind of crossed.
Okay.
That night, that those dudes were that gang fight. We were trying to get it split up to save that dude from those like 6 or 7 guys. There were a lot of them beating.
I thought it was 4, but all I know is we just went in with a mass humanity, just started pulling fools off this dude. That's what I remember.
Anyway, the guy gets free. I'm behind his car, and I'm tied up with all these dudes and all the rest of my guys, Will and Vega and Craig Poole, and all those dudes were tussling with other guys off to the side trying to part the Red Sea. This dude saw his chance, man. He jumped in his car and he just threw it in reverse with me in back of him. So he backs into me. I fly like 4 feet, like hard. And if he didn't stop and turn and then go forward over the divider, he would have backed over my ass. That would have been it for a wild thing.
Fuck.
And I drew my gun. I was going to kill him. And Craig Poole ran over and grabbed my arm, goes, no, put that away. So I did. And I took like a week off to heal up from that car hitting me. Then when I went back, that's when the boss rolled up and goes like, look, man, you just can't carry the gun here anymore. They don't want guns out here anymore. They got cops for that.
Okay.
Oh, I went and put it in the car, but I was a little bit fucking pissed off. Like you're not going to drop my hourly pay because I'm not carrying a gun.
I remember you being pissed off about the gun. And there's cops there. They had a catch and release program. They caught a 17-year-old girl there with a fake ID. They put her in the car, drove her around, and then dropped her off and let her go home.
Mr. Overrated. Fuck you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Great.
At least he called me Mr. At least he called me Mr. Overrated. So,
yeah.
At least you would have respected before the overrated part is Mr.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Jabroni. Mr. Untrained backyarder.
But yeah, Rob, after you left, we had a guy they kicked out of the club who's literally about remember Hernandez?
Let me finish up what I was saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before Brandon so rudely interrupted us. Fucking Brandon. Anyway. So I put the gun away and we're fine. And then the next night, at the end of the night, when boss showed up to pay us, he starts leaning into me and giving me shit about where's my fucking gun. And I was like, look, man, you told me not to bring the gun anymore. So it's at home locked up, but he started leaning on me about that. And I was sitting on the bar inside when we were having our little private meeting. I jumped off the bar and he fucking got back like 10 steps quick. I said, I'll tell you what, dude, I'm going to go to a company. I'm going to carry my gun and I'm going to make twice what I make here. Fuck you. And that's how that ended. Then they promoted Will to boss.
Yeah. After like, 2 weeks on the job?
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, okay. So, I started Vega. And I was bringing guys like Greg and other people that I knew in that could use the work and just trying to get fill extra bodies, But one night, we had this guy.
Oh, motherfucker. Nope. I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to keep it fucking hot in here. I'm going to keep it together, Chris, right? Man, fuck you, Roma. Fuck you, Paul Roma. You quit dodging me. I'm going to find you. You think that you're just going to dodge me forever, Forgotten Horseman, but I got something for you. Like, all you had to do was come on the podcast, have a discussion, but you're dodging me because you're old, you're used up, and now you fancy yourself a trainer, man. Fuck Paul Roma. Right in your wannabe horseman ass.
Wow. I knew you didn't like Roma, but shit. It's like that. Damn.
So continue, okay. Will.
So anywho, after you left, we had this one night where there's this guy that was yes, Chris does look like he's in a nightclub.
I am.
We had this guy
at a kitty bar, but no girls.
Yeah, we had this guy that was about the size of Hernandez, the wrestler from TNA.
Yeah.
So like a legit 6'4", built, going around, got drunk, got kicked out of the club, went to his car, grabbed a tire iron, started throwing it around. Vega decided he wanted to try to fight him. This guy was twice Vega's size. And I'm trying to tell him,
head case.
No. I'm trying to tell him, no, stop, stop, no. By this point, this was, I think, a week or two after, or sometime shortly after Rob got hit, and he's like throwing things around. I'm like, I'm between two cars. I'm like, I'm not going to take a chance to this guy speeding around the parking lot. And no, not going to happen. Screw this. We're going to do it this way. And then another time where Vega really was a head case is we had this guy show up. And Rob, you remember the way they did the parking lot of the club. That they couldn't, if they were either in the bar or they were not, they couldn't be on the property at all. This guy shows up, shorts and flip-flops. You guys know nobody's getting into a club with shorts and flip-flops. So he spins a yarn, gives a sob story of his girlfriend. He's up from San Diego. His girlfriend's in the club, blah, 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 blah. Finally, it was decided with the club owner, the bouncers, PD, us, everybody. We decided, okay, dude, you can stay in. As long as you can stay on the parking lot, as long as you stay in your car. Okay, fine. About 30, 45 minutes later, a woman comes out. Oh, my friend is being harassed by her ex-boyfriend that's still in the car. That's still in the parking lot. So we knew who that was because he was the only one there. We're like, okay.
I still worked there during that. I was just doing my loops around back of the building, and you guys were handling that.
Okay. I was, because I remember I went up there and got in the guy's face, told him to get out of there. Mark was like trying to, Vega was trying to be like, I want to fight him. Because the guy, I remember, looked over my shoulder because I said, Vega, hey, go find this dude. Go find him. Make sure he's not, he's still in his car and everything. I asked the police, hey, what do you want us to do? Oh, just go ahead and run him off. Okay, fine. I get out there. Vega's got his flashlight shining in the guy's face, like being a dick, like he was and everything, being young and everything. And the guy's like, get the flashlight on my face. It's mine or hot. And Vega's like, ha ha ha. And the guy's like, it's not funny. I storm up, put my flashlight in the guy's face. You don't find funny? That's not your girlfriend in the club. That's your ex-girlfriend. Now, not only are you trespassing on our property, you're stalking the poor girl. Get the fuck off my property. He's like, and Mark's running his mouth behind me. I'm going to kill. We're running like he was known to do from time to time. The guy reached down into his panel, like the door, like over my shoulder to Vega. Was like, I'm going to shoot you, motherfucker. To Vega. I was like, I don't know what it was, adrenaline, stupidity, or whatever. I leaned into the car and told him, dude, if you open that door, you're going to get hurt because we're going to kick your ass. Dude's like, whoa, okay, kind of thought about it. The whole exchange happened again. I'm trying to get the dude out of there. Whole exchange happened again. Vegas running his mouth. The guy threatens to shoot him again. I said, dude, look, I already told you. You get out of the car. We're going to drag you out. If you don't leave now, we're going to drag you out of the car. And I'm not going to drag you out this window I'm talking to you for. There's a back window there. That's the one you're going to go through. He was like, oh, fuck. Finally took off, Cops are like, what happened? Oh, Drew drove off, told him what happened. He threatened you? Yeah. You guys could have did whatever you wanted to and put him back in the car, whatever store you went with. I was like, son of a bitch. I didn't let Vega beat this dude's ass because I didn't know what the liability was. And here we were. We would have been protected. Fuck.
Yeah, but I had to pull Vega into the fucking side of Chuck E. Cheese, dude, and tear him a new ass. Like, you don't fucking challenge people in a parking lot, especially, I'm not saying Mexicans. I'm saying the immigrant farm worker Mexicans, which is what this guy was. They all have guns. They just do in their car.
I remember. And I remember, I think it was that night or another night, very similar, where I basically told him, calm down or go home. And this is after you had left him when I was in charge. He's like, who are you to tell me to go home? I'm like, I'm your fucking boss right now.
Yeah, the boss.
If you don't like it, go home. This is what it is. Because as you know, I came in with having only done a little bit of security before, but no real training. We didn't get any training at that company on what to do, what not to do, that sort of thing. And so I didn't know what we were allowed to do if certain situations came out. So I'm just trying to be diplomatic, get them out of there, and not cause a scene.
No matter what, though, there's always legal concerns about being an SO.
Yeah.
Will I go too far? Will they fucking prosecute me because I'm just a citizen?
And that's kind of what I was concerned with too. I was like, I didn't know. So like, okay, let's get him out of here. Let's just get this guy out of here. Let's go and go from there. And Vega's like, jump in my case, like, don't you ever tell me to fucking go home again, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, whatever. It's like you don't have to work. You don't have to keep coming out. It's like it is what it is. But he's all like, bitching at me about it. I'm like, dude, this is what it is. We don't know what we can do. We could have beat the dude's ass and been fine. We may not have been. And then with that big dude I was talking about first, he wanted to beat his ass. I said, you realize I know you're big. I know you're tough. You can handle yourself. But there's always going to be somebody tougher. There's always going to be somebody that's bigger than you, better than you, and it doesn't matter, how tough you are. There's always somebody bigger and better, or at least potentially. And if you just go running head on into things, you're going to get yourself hurt.
Well, shit. We're coming up to the end of our time here for WrestleShoot. We didn't talk much wrestling, though.
No, it's more of a catch-up session because it's Casanova and I talk occasionally, but Rob, it's been a few years for you and I. It's been a little while,
For sure. So, real quick, do you have anything else that you want to plug?
I do not.
Want to plug the show?
Yeah, because we don't have a Wild West. We don't have a Wild West show coming up until after the first of the year. So, I don't know the exact date for that yet. I've not been given that date. I know it's sometime in like January, I think. January or February is our next one. And that's in Reno. Wild West Championship Wrestling in Reno. They are on Facebook.
Cool. So, and real quick, then, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there. Those of you guys in California who are watching, and you can make it, going out to the NorCal Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame Awards. I feel like it's probably going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I know me and Rick don't see eye to eye on a lot of shit, but we do see eye to eye on production value. So if he works like I would work it should be pretty cool.
Yep. And the fact that our old friend and foe, Michael Porter, is being inducted. Also, Sir Samurai, somebody we've known for a while, is also being inducted this year.
Good. Cool.
It's he
deserves definitely. It. I mean, SVW's been around for 20 fucking years. Good for them.
Yeah, their next reunion show, I forget which year it is. It's coming up in April.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Samurai and Ugly and try to have them on. I would love to hear all about their 20 years that we've missed out on fucking 15 of them.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even go to shows after we ended UWA. I didn't go to shows for a long time. So I missed out on a lot.
There was a bitter taste left. It was a lot of funk that happened, but
it was.
That's over. Fuck that.
I think it's been over with a long time, to be honest.
Indeed.
If anybody was hanging on to shit, it was me.
I mean, I was hanging on a little bit because I wasn't sure if anybody had heat with me because of how things went down in UWA's last days or whatever. So I stayed away. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to do this. And then Blaze starts training in VF3, and Virgil's like, come on out to the shows. Come on out to the shows. Fine. Come out. Guys start seeing me. Oh, Will, what's going on, man? So started going out more.
There you go.
Not like I was. I'm not like doing every show every weekend like I used to go to just to watch, but here and there.
Coolio.
Nice.
Well, all right, guys. That's going to do it for us. We'll get Rick to cut back if Mike Rain ever wants to show up to do the Apocalypse reunion.
Definitely. But just let me know.
All
right. Rick, good seeing you again. Chris,
you too.
Fuck you, Rob.
I'm just kidding, sweetheart.
Bye.